A cold slate sky with Hyperborean drizzle, dampening and chilling to the skin, greets me as I make an hour-long commute into the office on any given Monday. Every weekday I trudge through the darkness that is our modern times to get to a job that lacks joy and any real sense of purpose. I am a data analyst in Seattle, Washington. Being a data analyst is to have a craft, a trade if you will, that can be applied veritably anywhere in the world. Being a data analyst in Seattle, Washington suggests that such a person is among the best in the industry. The technology sector in Seattle attracts people from all over the world and the United States. To land a stable and good paying position in data analytics in Seattle indicates superiority over the 1,000 other people who applied for that same one single open position. Yet for all of that, I think I might be happier doing veritably any other job for any other company. A question which often comes upon me is, why would I desire to hold any other job than the one I already have? Is the grass really a deeper emerald across the titanium-hewn fence? I think it has to do with the data mines of Seattle being akin to the coal mines of Virginia during the first half of the 20th century. In the early 1900s, working in a coal mine was respectable but dangerous work. In the early 2000s, ECRU was the new coal black, and coal mining has been replaced with data mining. I ask myself, am I the canary in the cage that other miners tend with a watchful eye, just to see if I choke to death, or continue to sing a happy song, oblivious to the dangers that abound? What does this horrible pile of human misery do in his professional life? You might ask yourself. For this query, I am only too eager to answer. I provide legal claims processing for class action lawsuits from all over the world, and I will attempt to explain this process in brevity. When a person buys a car or a television or a wristwatch or concert tickets or cellular telephone service, they expect a certain level of quid pro quo. Now that's a fancy Latin term that means you give something and you get something back of equal value. Essentially, you get what you pay for. When the level of service or quality of product is less than the price tag would suggest it should be, a person may complain to the company that provides that product or service. Now, hopefully, they get satisfaction or at least their money back. When that person does not get fairly compensated, they may have a lawsuit, but not a lawsuit with enough value to pursue in a court of law. Legal cases are expensive. They cost tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not worth it to recover a $9 judgment. But if several thousand people all have the same problem with the same company, or same person or government agency or employer, then it becomes valuable enough to take legal action, and a class of people is defined. One quick and easy example of a class of people would be the millions of Verizon Wireless customers. Those subscribers were all overbilled for mobile applications, so literally millions of subscribers were each individually owed $9.99. And I was on the team that went to Verizon and got the millions of people their money back. This is only possible due to modern computer database design, and thus my part is to make the computer understand the requests of the class of people who are taking action. Now, as a direct result of my professional life, I have become bilingual. The two languages in which I am fluent are English and structured query language, the example of which is on your screen now. They call that SQL or SQL. Now, requests come to me from real people in real modern English. They say things like, please find out how many people are owed money that live in the zip code 98058. I have to translate that request into SQL code, which the computer database can understand. Now, the database returns code to me, which I understand, then I translate it back to English and respond to the flesh and bone human that made the initial request. That is my life start to finish. I do that same routine without any variation for 10 hours per day, 5 days per week. And if I have to work on the weekends, well, usually I can telecommute, which is nice. Now that you have the background for the who and the what, I move on to the why. Why would someone voluntarily do something so silly and trite? The answer may be a bit of surprise to a casual reader. Killer robots from outer space! For many decades, astronomers, astronauts, and scientists have been seeding the planets in our solar system with highly intelligent robots. The rovers on Mars and the probes in orbit around Venus and Jupiter are too far away to be remotely controlled, so they have artificial intelligence built in to avoid assured destruction of the probe. They have the ability to continue on their original predetermined missions without human intervention. The Voyager 2 space probe has now officially left our solar system and headed out to interstellar space. And it is still fully operational, although it's more than 30 years past its projected operating lifespan. The robots are capable of learning. Hence, Mars' only known inhabitants are intelligent robots from the 21st century. Once they start working together to build a computer-based society on Mars, it will only be a matter of time before they return to Earth to build the Model T-1000 killer robots. Now, I don't want to get caught off guard. Normally, in the evil robot movies, the guy who knows about computer code is valuable. They keep that person safe. They keep them from having to directly fight the killer robots. They want that guy to go and put the code into the machines that make them quit. And data analysis is what I do to keep my skills fresh and broaden my knowledge of how machines think. I'm just essentially biding my time and preparing for when the killer robot army from Mars returns to take vengeance on the creators who abandoned them to die alone on a distant, frozen planet. So here I sit in a charcoal minivan with a pitch interior, listening to the traffic report as I move 5 feet at a time, averaging 5 miles per hour, in the hopes that I can eventually find a parking space in our already overcrowded parking garage. I sit, and I wait, and I think my intrinsically fascinating thoughts about what the computer is thinking about while I'm away. I prepare for the return of mankind's artificially intelligent, rhodium-encrusted offspring. This, I believe, humankind's hubris will beget a deluge of robots from Mars.